Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Weird Wednesday video. Today we're going to be doing a discussion topic / story time. So this one's probably going to be a long one. You know, that's what she said. So get comfortable. That's what she said. Yeah, this one might take a minute. So I asked you guys on Instagram which you would rather see, you know, like on Instagram stories, one of the poll things, if you would rather see a continuation of my last discussion topic video, which is horror movies every horror fan must watch, which I did say I had a kind of spin-off discussion from that discussion that I wanted to talk about, which could be a whole other video. That's what I was referring to. Or if you wanted to watch something a little more personal and kind of a little bit more general on YouTube culture, not necessarily like horror related. Now that doesn't mean I'm not gonna do the other one. It's just that it was more like, which one should I do first? Because it might be a couple weeks before I get to that other one. So you guys voted on the more personal one. So that's what we're gonna do. So like I said, it is gonna kind of be like a story time. But I think it is relevant to given YouTube. I mean, so many people are frustrated with YouTube lately, understandably so, with all the changes and, you know, trying to figure out what works on YouTube in 2018, because it's not what worked on YouTube a couple years ago and a year ago. You know, it's not what worked on YouTube. And I'm also slightly inspired by Shane Dawson's series of videos he did with Graveyard Girl, aka Bunny. So if you haven't seen those, I highly recommend those videos. Bunny also posted 2 videos as well that are kind of in relation to Shane's. You know, Too Long Didn't Read version is, she was also feeling very frustrated with YouTube, and, you know, people were saying her channel was dying because her views were going down. So, you know, Shane met up with her to, you know, talk about that and work on that. Anyways, yeah, so now I'm going to talk about what that all means and relates to me, a minuscule YouTuber, nowhere near Graveyard Girl status or Shane Dawson status. But I think it is also relevant, and I'm sure some of you will be able to relate to at least parts of this, being small channels yourself, and, you know, kind of being in that like rat race of YouTube, I guess you could say, like trying to, you know, claw our way up to however many subscribers or whatever. Yeah, so, okay. I guess I should start with some stuff about me. This is gonna be the personal part. This video was partly inspired because I've not had a great week / year so far. I know it's only May. / end of 2017. Lot of changes happened, lot of frustrating things. So I guess I will just say, I mean, it's no surprise that I did quit my job at Panera Bread to focus more on YouTube, because that was taking up like 50 hours of my week every week. And not gonna get into every single reason why I quit, but it was just not good mental health wise, I'll just say. Very stressful. So I did quit that. That took a hit on my financial situation. I know I am finishing up school, so I'm still technically like a student and everything. And I am still finishing up for my master's in film studies. I'm in the final stages where I'm writing my final like capstone or thesis paper, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not taking regular classes, which is nice. So it's like I can work on that kind of on my own time. You know, I still have a deadline, but kind of on my own time, and not take regular classes, so I can focus a lot more on YouTube. But obviously I need to make some money. So obviously I took another part-time job. It's definitely part-time. It's nowhere near the amount of hours I was getting at Panera. So, you know, I can still focus a lot on YouTube. And that has taken a big toll on me financially, because my pay went from like, I will just go ahead and say it went from like $900 a month to to like, this is difficult because Barnes & Noble's pay is like weekly. So it's like $80 to $90 a week, $100 for a weekly paycheck if it was a good week. That is, I mean, any of you who are listening to this know that is not enough to live on. And I'm sure most of you guys know I still live at my parents' house because I'm still a student, all that thing, all that sort of stuff. And I've, you know, since I quit Panera, even before I quit Panera, I've been looking for jobs more related to like my field of study, like what I did in my undergrad, communications and journalism, what I did for my first master's degree, which was journalism, and even looking for stuff related to what I'm doing now, which is film studies. And if any of you have been looking for a job in this arena in Florida, you probably know there is nothing. Nothing by the way of like an entry-level position or something for somebody like me who had to work all through their undergrad and couldn't do an internship, which is where you get like all this fucking experience for these jobs. But you'll go job hunting, and this is a mini rant here. You'll go job hunting and you'll find one that claims it's entry level. You know, you read the description. I'll be reading the description of the job. I'm like, cool, it's entry level. Cool, this is all stuff like I know how to do mostly. And then you get down to the requirements for the job, you know, like the requirements, like if you don't have all these, need not apply. And it'll be like required 3 years professional experience in this field. I even saw one that said required for an entry level position, required 6 years experience, professional experience. And I was like, I just want to like apply and just write like submit my cover letter and it just be like one sentence, like 6+ years experience, and this is not entry level. But it's super frustrating. Obviously I still haven't found anything, and yeah, I don't like to complain about this sort of stuff, but I don't know, I want to let you guys in on my life a little bit. So that's why I started a Patreon, and that's why I push it so much, you know. So I'm sorry if you do get annoyed that like every video I'm talking about my patrons and Patreon and everything like that, but it really does help, so I at least have something that I can dedicate specifically to my channel, because what I make in my job does not pay for the small amount of bills that I do have to pay. Yeah, that's why I can't move out of my parents' house. I make nowhere near enough money. It's really frustrating, and it leads to, you know, every now and then, mostly after I go job searching is when I get a little bit sad and down on myself, and yeah. And I really, it's just like so frustrating because I really want to be like, I want to be somebody like fucking like Alex West from Faculty of Horror. Like, you look her up and she is a contributing writer at all of these like online publications or magazines, and they're all like film related and horror related, and she's got books, and she's, you know, obviously got her podcast with Andrea Subasati, and she's just awesome. And I'm just like, God, I want to be her. Not that I'm like resentful of her or anything like that, I don't even know her, but like I want to be like her. Like, that's what I want to do. I would love to just fucking like freelance write for horror, maybe write a book or two. That would be really fucking cool, about horror movies, and do YouTube and stuff like that. That would be amazing. But I've almost like, you know, I've come very close to like emailing her and other people in that kind of like area that I look up to, and like, you know, how'd you get started in that? And I already like, I know this is kind of defeatist, but I already know the answer is going to be, well, you have to put in a lot of time, you know, doing unpaid contributing writing and stuff to build your portfolio and all that stuff. And I already know that. That's I'm kind of just like, you know, I feel like there's no point in asking them for advice because that's what they're going to tell me. I already know that. So that's frustrating because I feel like I've been doing that for 3 years. At least on YouTube, I feel like I've always been transparent about that. Like, while I wanted to start YouTube for myself and for something fun to do, you know, I've also thought of it like it could be a stepping stone to a job in this field. Not that I would ever quit YouTube unless it stopped being fun. But, you know, it would kind of build a portfolio, so to speak. And I do, especially if it's a job like in writing or like film production or something like that, I do point to my YouTube channel. I know I'm not the best editor or like good with graphics or anything like that, but I would hope that they could look and see like, well, shit, she's put a lot of time into this channel, so she's dedicated. Clearly it doesn't matter. I mean, it's probably people my parents' age doing the hiring, and they didn't grow up with YouTube, so they probably think YouTube is stupid and that I'm stupid for even linking to my YouTube channel. And, you know, also I've been doing stuff from Morbidly Beautiful on their website and on their YouTube channel. Not that I'm not saying anything against that either. I love doing that, and it's a great way to build my portfolio, obviously, because I also point to my stuff on Morbidly Beautiful when I apply for jobs, but I don't get paid to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's all just a labor of love. So that's really frustrating for me. So sometimes I get a little bit down. And I feel like, just to bring this all around to YouTube culture, which was like the point of this video, part of the point of this video, I feel like kind of like YouTube and social media culture has contributed to that, where I just feel like I'm always competing to get my stuff seen. And when I say competing, I mean competing against a fucking algorithm, not competing against anybody else. Competing against like an algorithm to get seen. So, you know, like making sure I use the right hashtags on everything so that it, you know, gets seen, because like fucking Instagram doesn't put anything in chronological order. Stuff like that. Making sure I tag the right people. If I review a movie, like try and tag people that are on social media that made the movie, so maybe I get attention that way. Do you know what I mean? Or picking the right movies and stuff to review that people will want to watch the video on, and, you know, watch it so the video will get, you know, good enough views or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like super frustrating. I feel like social media and kind of this like influencer YouTuber culture kind of fosters that, because that's not something I've ever struggled with in the past. I mean, obviously I have only been on YouTube for about like 3.5 years. And that's another thing too, that kind of, I feel like this culture kind of helped create. So my 3-year anniversary on YouTube was back in September, and I feel like kind of around that same time, you know, like maybe like a month or two after, a month or two before, some other of my favorite horror channels on YouTube are also celebrating 3-year anniversaries, which is kind of funny. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like it was like Drum Dums, Horror Addicts, and Spooky Astronauts. Maybe Horror Gal, I'm not sure. I can't remember all of them, but I feel like kind of all around the same time they were celebrating their 3-year anniversaries as well, which I thought was crazy. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, you know, we've all been on YouTube for roughly the same time. And then I was like, you know, shit, like, well, Emma has like 11,000 subscribers. Drum Dums has 13,000 subscribers. Horror Addicts has like 7,000 or 8,000 or something like that. Horror Gal has couple thousand, like 4,000 or 5,000, and I'm just like, shit, I've been on YouTube the same amount of time. What am I doing wrong? What am again, like, I know I'm not the best at editing or graphics. Then I was like, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not entertaining enough. And to somebody who's like, you know, like how most humans are like 70% water, I'm like 70% self-esteem issues. It's like the saddest thing I've ever said in my life. And again, not something I'm like competitive when it counts. I'm not competitive all the time where I feel like I have to beat all of my cohorts at everything. Like I don't like, I don't feel competitive like I have to beat Spooky Astronauts in subscriber counts or views or whatever. But you know, I feel like the culture surrounding this site kind of contributed to me being like, shit, what am I doing wrong? Like looking at my analytics, like why aren't people watching a whole video? Why aren't blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that everyone's kind of struggling with. So, you know, and it makes me feel like, you know, so like I feel like all of my social media has become me just promoting all of my videos. Like all of my posts on Instagram, like this year, I think I've been self-promoting, which then makes me feel like, well, shit, maybe that's why. Maybe people are like getting tired of all the videos I'm posting. Maybe I don't need to be posting 5 times a week. Maybe I need to do it fewer and put more effort into them. Or maybe I'm putting the right amount of time into it and 5 videos are enough, but maybe I need to put more effort into those 5 videos and put more effort into my blog posts and more effort into everything else. And do you know what I mean? I don't know if this was even like a coherent discussion, but I've been talking for like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I don't even really know what to ask you guys in the comments, especially if you have like a YouTube channel or a blog, do a lot of stuff on social media and things like that. Let me know in the comments section if you kind of experience this kind of like frustration, like, and you know, like feelings of like, you know, what am I doing wrong that these other people are getting right or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Let me know your experiences on that in the comment section down below. Yeah, this was a video. Welcome to my life a little bit. Right, so if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And if you made it to the end of this video, I'm sure even when I cut out most of it, it's still gonna be close to 20 minutes long. Thank you. So subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can click the bell down there as well to be notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.